This episode's brought to you by Red Cape Films. Power Play!
Hello everyone and welcome to yet another installment of Power Play. Today we're going to be talking about arguably, key highlighted word there, arguably the greatest college football quarterback of all time, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's got a really interesting story, put up crazy numbers in high school back in Athens, Ohio. And then just like almost any other quarterback growing up in Ohio, he got to live out his dream and he went to The Ohio State University. Now, the issue with that at a very young age is you go to Ohio State and you don't really just go there, show up and play. Typically speaking, you have to wait your time. So Joe was more than willing to do that, but unfortunately for him, some pretty good names of J.T. Barrett and, Dwayne Haskins were there. Then he also injured, I believe it was his throwing arm as well. So anyway, regardless, an injury kept him out. So what did he do? He ended up transferring as a graduate transfer, and he went to probably the greatest decision of his life, because we all know the rest of it right now. But anyway, he ended up going to LSU, and the rest is history. So today I just want to briefly dive into why I believe he could potentially be the greatest college football quarterback of all time, or at least have the greatest single season of all time. So obviously we know, he won the Heisman, and I believe it was 48 touchdowns. And he put up ridiculous numbers, almost threw for 5,000 yards in a single season, and he's ridiculous. But then he gets to the college football playoffs, and he plays Oklahoma. And I don't think any of us were ever expecting what he did. Joe Burrow threw for 493 yards and 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. Now you say, okay, 7 touchdowns is ridiculous. However, he threw for 7 touchdowns in one half. It was like playing a video game. It was like playing Madden. That's just ridiculous. At the half, he was 21 of 27 passing for 400 yards and 7 touchdowns. Did Jalen Hurts ever even have a chance? Probably not. This is the guy who connected for 5 touchdowns on 5 straight possessions. And, by the way, he rushed for a touchdown. So he put up 8 touchdowns. And obviously the LSU Tigers are, baby crawling their way to the National College Football Championship with a 63-28 victory. And that's ridiculous because in the history of the Peach Bowl, previously, the passing touchdown record was 4 touchdowns, which is, as we all know, that's quite the accomplishment. Joe Burrow tied that record in 18 minutes. 18 minutes. And he only needed 21 minutes to shatter that record. That's how good Joe Burrow is. What else? Obviously he won the Heisman vote, like I mentioned before, actually breaking O.J. Simpson's record for the most percentage of votes. So obviously, we got a pretty good understanding of how good he is. But something that no one seems to be speaking about is the following. Colt McCoy currently has the single season passing record, and that's 76.7% of completed passes. Joe Burrow actually is beating that right now. So theoretically speaking, if he doesn't throw a single pass in the national championship, win, lose, tie, whatever, go home as a winner or a loser, Joe Burrow will then have that record. Joe Burrow currently has completed 77.6% of his passes. So, his trophy case should be pretty big. But it's not all about just trophies, but I definitely do want to mention some more things he could be doing. Currently, Colt Brennan has the single season touchdown record. That's 58 touchdowns. Joe Burrow currently has 55. And if you look at it, if Joe Burrow wants to, complete the entire package, Heisman, all these different records, and also win a college football national championship, he'll likely need to throw for minimum 3 touchdowns. And if he does that, he'll tie the record. But knowing Joe Burrow, he'll probably throw for 4 or 5. So that record should be his as well. Now, this Clemson team, they're no slouch. They're no slouch. Absolutely. They have won 29 straight football games, and they have arguably the best quarterback. Mitch is going to do some editing work, and he's going to put up a picture of Trevor Lawrence and Sunshine. Yes, they both do look a lot alike. And by the way, that's Sunshine from Remember the Titans. Regardless, Trevor Lawrence is 25-0, so this is going to be a crazy, ridiculous college football national championship game. I personally can't wait to watch this. These are 2 unbelievable quarterbacks. Joe Burrow, just absolutely incredible. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence has never even lost. And Dabo Swinney's Tigers are going to put up, a great fight. Obviously, like I mentioned before, 29 straight victories. They're always ready. And they're looking to win their 3rd straight national championship. That's ridiculous. But the reason why I think Joe Burrow is going to torch, and I mean torch, the Clemson Tigers, is because the Buckeyes, although they lost, they threw for 320 yards. And that's Justin Fields on a banged up knee. They still threw for 320 yards, even though they're primarily going for a run-first offense. 320 yards was definitely the most that Clemson has given up. And Joe Burrow, obviously I love Justin Fields and he's phenomenal, but 320 yards for a quarterback who's good compared to probably the greatest passing quarterback of all time in college football, and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can easily put up another 400 yards and another 4 touchdowns, break Colt Brennan's single-season touchdown record of 58 touchdowns. If you don't already know, Joe Burrow, he's going 1st overall NFL draft. You can't change my mind. The Bengals need they need a quarterback. Sorry, Andy Dalton, you gotta go. You gotta go. Anyway, all that to say, when we look at predictions, when we look at defenses, when we look at scores, up until Ohio State, Clemson hasn't been tested. They finally got tested, probably should have lost. You see, and everyone keeps saying, Big Ten strong, SEC strong, SEC stronger than the Big Ten. Well, the bottom half of the Big Ten would destroy, the bottom half of the SEC. Although that's probably true. The SEC is pretty strong. And Joe Burrow put up crazy numbers in the SEC. Whereas the ACC, where Clemson played, they weren't really challenged. And when it came to it, Ohio State made that very evident. My final prediction for this one. LSU, 35 points. Could it be higher? Probably. Easily could be 42. But Clemson's got a pretty good defense. So LSU 35 to Clemson 18. And I really do mean that. So, all that be said, Joe Burrow, you're an absolute stud. We love you. Go out and win. And like I said, final prediction, no matter what, I guaranteed the Tigers are going to win. That's just a funny joke because both Tigers teams are in. Anyway, that's all I got for you all today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, is Joe Burrow the greatest college football quarterback of all time? Or is it Tim Tebow? Or is it Johnny Manziel? Who knows? Either way, let me know. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Power Play.